about the potential number one overall pick. Let's talk about the potential team drafting in the number one overall position, and that is Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans. Cam Ward had his pro day just the other day, and people say that he solidified the number one overall pick in this year's draft. And Titans general manager Mike Bogazzi says that he had definitely solidified the number one pick for the Tennessee Titans in the 2025 NFL draft. But we spoke on this a little bit yesterday, and now we're going to speak on it again today. Should the Titans actually draft Cam Ward number one overall? The more we look at the Tennessee Titans, the more we dive into the Tennessee Titans, the more we start to understand their needs and wants and desires in Nashville, Tennessee. They are in a world of hurt. Yes, the Tennessee Titans do, quote, need a quarterback. But let's just be honest. They have struck out on their last few quarterbacks, from Jake Locklear, Marcus Mariota, Malik Willis, and now maybe potentially Will Levis. They have struck out on those top quarterback draft picks that they've had. Now, Cam Ward did have a great pro day. There is no question about it. He had a great pro day. He made all the throws. He made great deep balls, and he showed the ability to able to roll the pocket and throw on the run. Well, guess what? A pro day, you are supposed to look great. At a pro day, you are supposed to look perfect. At a pro day, you are supposed to make all the throws. It is scripted to make you look like an elite level athlete. Sam Darnold had a great pro day. Where is he now? Yes, I understand he's with the Seahawks and signed a massive deal. But before that, where is he at? He was labeled a bust in New York. He was labeled a bust in Carolina. He got a little bit of redemption in San Francisco and a lot of redemption in Minnesota, but it took like 5-6 years down the road. Zach Wilson looked like an elite number one overall pick at his pro day. Zach Wilson was supposed to be a mid-tier first-round quarterback. Flew up to number 2. Where's Zach Wilson out? Third-string quarterback for the Miami Dolphins on his third team in 3 years. Guys, pro days means nothing. I'm not trying to take anything away from Cam Ward. Let's not get it twisted. But if it was last year, he'd be number 4, number 5 quarterback coming off of the board. Now, he did not throw at the combine. From what he said, it was because he wanted to throw at the pro day and put more eyes on his teammates. The teammates that were not invited to the combine, the teammates that are fighting for those NFL roster spots. Cam Ward wanted to get those eyes of the pro scouts on him, which sounds like a great teammate, right? Sounds like a guy that you really want on your roster, like a guy that you think is going to do anything and everything for your franchise. But did we forget what Cam Ward did in the Pro Bowl, in the Pop-Tarts Pro Bowl, or not Pro Bowl, but bowl game? Did we forget what Cam Ward did to his team in the bowl game of just this season? He played the first half just to break the NCAA all-time passing record. Then he sat out in the second half, said, my future's more important than winning this stupid little bowl game. You understand that those bowl games, sometimes people will never step on the field ever again. People will never have an opportunity to win a championship ever again. That could be their last game period of organized football period. And you're like, I'm better than you. Is that somebody you want on your team? Is that somebody that you want your franchise quarterback? Is that somebody that you think is going to turn around in Nashville, Tennessee and lead the Titans to the Super Bowl playoffs, a divisional championship? Slow it down, baby. Now, like I said earlier, 5-6 minutes ago, the Tennessee Titans do need a quarterback. They also need offensive line and a receiver and an edge rusher and a safety and a kicker. Long story short, they are a long ways away from competing in the AFC. Long story short, they are a long ways away from making it to the playoffs. Long story short, they are a long ways away from competing with teams like the Buffalo Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals, Pittsburgh Steelers, any playoff team in the NFL. They are a long, long way away from that. So what I am proposing, if you are a Tennessee Titans fan, and what am I proposing if you are interested of seeing a team actually grow from the ground up? The Tennessee Titans need to trade out of that number 1 overall pick. They need to move back to whether it's 4, whether it's 5, whether it's 7. They need to move back, period, end of story. As they would love to draft a quarterback. I don't think Cam Ward is a franchise-changing quarterback. I think if Cam Ward goes to the right situation, i.e. New York Giants, i.e. Miami Dolphins, i.e. Minnesota Vikings, i.e. Kansas City Chiefs, those established teams that are just that are a quarterback away, he can definitely do good things, much like Shedeur Sanders. But this year, you don't have that franchise-changing quarterback. You do not have that Andrew Luck. You do not have that Aaron Rodgers. You do not have that Tom Brady type of quarterback. It is what it is. I'm not saying that those kids suck, but I'm saying they do not deserve the number 1 overall pick. The Titans need to trade out of that number 1 overall pick. Let the Raiders come up there and overpay for a quarterback. Let the Jets come up there and overpay for a quarterback. Let the New York Football Giants move up 2 spots and get that number 1 overall pick and get Cam Ward, get their franchise guy, and you're sitting there at number 3, and you add a Abdur Carter. You add an offensive tackle. You add a prolific edge rusher or a tight end. The Tennessee Titans have so many holes that Cam Ward is not going to change the team. Now, I do think that Cam Ward will go number 1 overall. Do not take those words out of my mouth. I do think Cam Ward will go number 1 overall. I do not think he will go to the Tennessee Titans number 1 overall. I think the Tennessee Titans are looking to trade out of that number 1 overall pick. They are up there. They're gassing up Cam Ward. They're saying that he is a solidified number 1, which all eyes tell us that he is the best quarterback on the board. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you are the best player on the board. You're the best athlete on the board. You're the best fit for said team on the board. Guys, Cam Ward there will be a team out there. The Giants, the Jets, the Steelers, maybe the Steelers, the Raiders, other teams out there, potentially the San Francisco 49ers. They love going up and overpaying for quarterbacks, right? There's going to be a team out there that is willing to pay whatever price it takes to get the number 1 overall pick to get Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. And the Tennessee Titans need to be out there answering questions or answering phone calls. They need to be out there fielding and testing the market. They need to be out there saying, "Hey, what can we legitimately get for this number 1 overall pick?" And and it would not shock me one bit if they do that. So what do you guys think? Will the Tennessee Titans trade out that number 1 overall pick, and will Cam Ward go number